Welcome back everyone. The Lakers have been playing pretty well lately, but in order for them to take that next step, they need to make a few changes. I'm not simply referring to them making a trade either. They need to focus on improving internally and externally as well, with the internal aspect being even more important. And while there are a number of things that they, along with pretty much every team, could get better at, what are the three most important ones for them right now? We will talk about exactly that in today's video. Real quick though guys, if you are looking for a no-brainer bet to place on the NFL tomorrow, then be sure to check out PrizePicks. They are offering an over-under on Justin Jefferson getting 0.5 receiving yards, who, if you did not know, is probably the best wide receiver in the NFL right now, and that is pretty much a free play. And I'm combining that with 5 other NBA plays tonight. I'm going with Bojan Bogdanovic putting up more than 20.5 points, Lauri Markkanen putting up more than 21.5 points, along with 32.5 combined points, rebounds, and assists, Jusuf Nurkic putting up more than 13.5 points, and then Kevin Huerter dropping more than 15.5 points in a revenge game. If you're interested in making your own picks, then be sure to download PrizePicks and use code JSM when signing up. Without further ado though, let's get back to today's topic, and for change number 1, I think they need to adjust their rotation, with that primarily involving two main things. For one, they need to remove a guard from their rotation. I get that they have been playing short-handed lately, but there is no reason to ever play a combination of Westbrook, Dennis Schroeder, and Kendrick Nunn together at the same time. Then to make matters worse, they've often played a guy like Austin Reeves at the 4 with them, and even with a great rim protector like Anthony Davis behind them, that is simply too small of a lineup. Not only that though, but they don't fit on offense either. You have two ball-dominant point guards in Westbrook and Schroeder, and then a combo guard who prefers the ball in his hands with Kendrick Nunn. And if Nunn is not shooting well, that lineup is doomed to fail. They are way too small on defense, and then they lack floor spacing on offense. Even with a depleted rotation, I do not see a reason for this lineup. It does not look good on paper, and it does not perform well on the court either. I would agree with giving Schroeder more time before judging him, but I don't see how he can thrive in a lineup with Russell Westbrook. I mean, sure, they played together back in OKC, but that was with a completely different team around them. In order for both of them to thrive, they need to be the primary ball handler on the court more often than not, and when they share the court together, they simply cannot do that. Then for Kendrick Nunn, even with him playing a bit better lately, he does not really have a place within their current rotation, and in order to give Schroeder more minutes without Westbrook, I would remove Nunn from their rotation entirely. And with LeBron returning on Friday, along with Max Christie as well, that should not be hard to do. They are both better options for their rotation, and provide them with more size on the court too. In addition to all of that though, I would prioritize playing Westbrook with Thomas Bryant. We watched how well they played together against San Antonio, but unfortunately, they barely played together against Phoenix. Whenever Thomas Bryant is on the court, I would like Westbrook to be on the court with them. They've proven to have great chemistry, and they're a good combination for when Anthony Davis is taking a break. Now, there are definitely a few other minor tweaks I would make as well, but those would have to be the main ones, and that would be my recommendation for change number 1. But now moving on to change number 2, and for this one, I think they need to either trade for or sign one more bigger wing player, as that would help address change number 1. Their current rotation is filled with way too many guards, and while removing one of them would help, outright replacing one with a bigger wing player would be even better. There might not be a whole lot available on the free agent market, but I would be open to temporarily signing a wing like Tony Snell, Mo Harkless, or even PJ Dozier. Now, they would have to waive a non-guaranteed contract like Matt Ryan to do that, but unless they make a trade, they don't really have a better option here. Doing that could provide them with temporary or even long-term depth at small forward, which they desperately need. The other option would be trading either Kendrick Nunn or Patrick Beverley, because unlike a majority of their new additions, those two can be traded right now. Although, even with him underperforming on offense, I doubt they would trade Patrick Beverley quite yet, as they really appear to like what he provides their locker room. That likely does not apply to Kendrick Nunn though. The only problem is, he cannot get them much in return through a trade alone. With his salary being worth only around $5 million, that won't get them a big time difference maker in return. And in terms of matching that with an available wing player, their options are very limited through trade. Now that would change on December 15th, as they would then be able to include a guy like Damian Jones with him, but that is quite a ways away, which again would lead them back to temporarily signing a free agent, and we know they've contemplated doing that too, with them already having brought in both Mo Harkless and Tony Snell for a workout. I really do like Matt Ryan, and I love his story about making the NBA, but he's not been able to routinely make an impact when given playing time. And with them quite obviously needing more reliable wing depth, temporarily replacing him should be something they are thinking about, as I'm not sure they can afford to wait until after December 15th. Another possibility could be trading Westbrook, but with him now making a real difference off their bench, I don't see them trading him anytime soon, and I think we can rule out that option for at least right now. But now moving on to change number 3, and here we have putting LeBron back into a facilitator type of role, rather than being their primary scoring option. I talked about doing this in my Anthony Davis video last week, and with Davis continuing to dominate, I don't feel any differently. Even with LeBron coming back, they should continue to run their offense through Anthony Davis. Whenever he has been on the court lately, pretty much every play has been run through him. A majority of them initially included posting up, but after he began drawing a double team nearly every time, they then began running more pick and rolls through him, which was something they're not doing enough of with a healthy LeBron. Up until he got hurt, Anthony Davis was primarily their second option on offense. But the minute that LeBron got hurt, that obviously changed. Now, I'm not saying that LeBron was hindering him, as they did win a championship together after all, but he was making it harder to run their offense through Anthony Davis. For the better part of the past year now, LeBron has been in a scoring mindset, and that is not what he was like during their championship season. Back then, he was much more of a facilitator for them. In fact, he was the only guy on their team other than Rajon Rondo who could be called a point guard. And although their current team is much different compared to that one, they really need LeBron to revert back to doing that, as that was pretty much the point to bring Westbrook off the bench. I mean, it was not for that alone, but one big part of it was allowing LeBron to be their primary playmaker, and that should involve making plays for Anthony Davis. That can even include him taking a step back within their offense. He can be their primary playmaker, but the offense needs to be focused around Anthony Davis. And in reality, that should be something that LeBron wants. It would take a heavy burden off him within their offense, and that's reportedly what he's wanted for a while now. With that being said though, now he has to accept that role. They don't need him to be their number one scoring option every game, and he should welcome that change too. I mean, nothing is ever as simple as we think, and it's difficult for a team to even make a minor change, but I think that making these 3 would benefit them. What do you guys think though? What changes do you believe would help them take that next step? Let me know your thoughts by commenting down below and we can talk about it there. That will do it for this video though. Big thank you to those of you who took the time to watch until the end of this video, and until the end of all of my videos in general. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and turn on notifications to get notified right away when I drop a new video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day.